Godzilla vs. Kong is a 2021 film, and this was one of the one of the first big movies, I guess, to really kind of play in theaters that people semi started going out to see after COVID. This was also one of I think it was the first movie maybe to be on Max as well as out in theaters at the same time. So the first really big movie, it was the first big one anyway, to be doing that. And I remember back in Wisconsin where I was living, theaters were opened up. Theaters were good to go. I think there was maybe some space seating as far as reserved seating go. In Wisconsin, people really didn't care about COVID too much. Where I was at anyway, there was definitely some people that had their concerns with it. But yeah, like I remember going to see Tenet and everyone still had the masks on the theater. Going to see Godzilla vs. Kong, there wasn't anybody with masks on really. So yeah, this was kind of the first big movie that I remember seeing back in theaters where there was a decent crowd there. And I haven't had a chance to really watch and review the other movies in this franchise. The 2014 Godzilla, I really like. I know a lot of people don't love that movie because Godzilla's not shown a lot. I absolutely love that movie. I think it's a blast. It reminds me a little bit of Jaws. I like that Jaws approach they took for it. Yeah, it kind of sucks that Bryan Cranston isn't actually in the movie. It was a little bit of a misdirect, but he was right off Breaking Bad. I get it. So yeah, I really enjoy that movie. I know not everyone does. After that, it was Kong Skull Island. I really, really enjoy that movie as well. It's a cool little like Vietnam kind of movie. It's really great cast. There's some dumb stuff in it, but it's fun and I enjoyed it. Godzilla King of the Monsters, I did not enjoy that one at all. I think I've watched it 2 or 3 times now, and I think it's boring as hell. So yeah, that brings us to this one, Godzilla vs. Kong. And I remember seeing this with a couple of friends. One particular friend who literally has gone to the movies like 3 times in his life. So that was really an interesting experience going to the movies with him. And he's a big King Kong fan, absolutely loves Kong. And I just remember having a flippin' blast in the theater. We were literally jumping up in our seats. We were like screaming and hollering and hooping and hollering. It was so much fun seeing this movie in the theater. That being said, this movie is not perfect. This movie is very dumb at times. This movie has some really terrible characters. This movie, as far as the story, but that's not the point of the movie. The movie's called Godzilla vs. Kong, and it does have a couple amazing sequences with Godzilla fighting Kong, Godzilla and Kong fighting together. It's got some amazing things. What is your malfunction, Chester? Why are you whining? This dog today has been driving me nuts. Yeah, I want a Godzilla vs. Kong this dog. So yeah, it's not by all means a perfect movie. And it's really not, I mean, it's still a movie you can watch at home. But that experience in the theater just can't be met with what the experience at home is. This should be watched on the biggest flipping screen possible. I am going to go see the sequel tonight, so there will be a review up tomorrow of that. Of the new one, I'm going to be seeing it in IMAX. I am flipping stoked for that. I'm also going to be seeing it in 3D to see, if that makes it a little more interesting. I know, specifically with this Godzilla vs. Kong, when they're in, what do they call it? The center of the Earth, the core Earth, or whatever they call it. Those sequences probably could be really cool in 3D. So I am really excited to see that. So yeah, the movie's Godzilla vs. Kong. The parts that it talks about, the parts that it really, should deliver, it delivers. The characters, though, just are stupid as all hell. Millie Bobby Brown is in this movie. Brian Tyler Henry, is that his name? I forget his name. And then the guy from Deadpool 2 and Hunt for the Wilder People, I can't remember his name either because I'm bad with names. That entire bit with them, just basically take it out of the movie. Their characters just don't, they're kind of annoying. Millie Bob Brown, the entire movie is just like, but Godzilla saved us. Brian Taylor Henry is just like, there's conspiracy, and I'm a podcaster. And then, the Deadpool guy is just kind of the sidekick. Really no point to that. Where the character stuff gets a little bit more interesting is the bits with Rebecca Hall and Skarsgård, kind of doing the core Earth thing, and as well as having what's her name? I can't remember, the little girl, the deaf girl. She is absolutely incredible in this movie. I think the relationship between her and Kong is perfect. People are looking at me outside because I got the door open. Chester's going to investigate. So yeah, for me, that is the best part of this, is as far as the humans go. She, even though she doesn't speak, the use of sign language, communicating with Kong is beautiful. I think it absolutely works, and I think that is definitely the best part as far as the humans go. Everything else, though, is just a big, dumb action movie. Big, dumb monster action movie. And it works, in my opinion. I don't think this movie's terrible at all. I have so much fun watching this. I've watched it many different times. I have it on 4K. Actually, I have it right here on 4K. I watched it last night on 4K. I've watched special features on this a few times, but I haven't watched it in a while. But yeah, it's a fun, dumb movie. It is an hour and 45 minutes. It's 113 minutes. No, that's not 145 minutes, and that is that's an hour and 55 minutes. Point is, it's not this huge, long movie. It's just it's a fun movie. It's a fun action monster movie, and that's all it needs to be. The movie looks, decent. The special effects are absolutely incredible. What we see here with Godzilla vs. Kong is so cool. So yeah, if you're going into this movie expecting a masterpiece, you're probably not going to get that. But if you go into this movie to have fun, you'll have fun. Like I said, this was a great movie to watch with two friends, just having fun. Like I said, we were cheering. We're all on Team Godzilla, or Team Kong. I apologize. So we were all just cheering for Kong the entire time. We've seen the movie. Kong kind of gets his butt whooped by the end, but he still ends up notorious. He's awesome. And I would say he's kind of the main monster in this movie. There's more Kong stuff, I would say, than there is Godzilla stuff. So overall, it's a fun movie. It's a very rewatchable movie. It's very much a movie you can put on the background at certain points in time when the character's kind of showing up. If you've seen the movie before, you don't really need to pay attention to the character part after you've seen the movie once, really, even. It's really not that important to the plot. But overall, it's a really fun movie. When Godzilla and King Kong are fighting on the ship, and when they're fighting at the end, and when you're in the core of the Earth, or whatever it's called, it's so incredible. It is so much fun, and it looks beautiful. I can't wait to see the new one in IMAX. It's going to be a dumb fun time. I'm going to have popcorn. I'm going to have some candy. I'm going to have some soda. And I'm going to throw my fucking face, and it's going to be great. So yeah, Godzilla vs. Kong. Fun movie. I'll give this, I think when I originally saw this movie, I gave it like an 8 or a 9 out of 10. Watching it at home, realizing how bad the characters really are, how there's really not an incredible story. If I'm being honest, it's like a 7 out of 10. But if you're just going into this because you want to see Godzilla and Kong fight, it's like an 8 or a 9. It's so much fun, but I'm going to say for a final grade, it's like 7 out of 10. So yeah, that is my review of Godzilla vs. Kong. I'm going to go see the new one tonight. I'll have a review for you tomorrow. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this movie. Let me know if you're going to see the new one and how you're going to see it. Are you going to see it in IMAX? Are you going to see it in like a Adobe? Are you going to see it in a RPX? Let me know. That is a terrible movie. Anyways, guys, you have yourself a great day. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and we will see you next time.